This is the easiest way to unlock Zirchon scale in Modern Warfare 3 zombies. This is my strategy that I used for the karambit, the combat knife, and the war machine. Let's get right into it. For my setup, I recommend using either decoy, Casimir for that tactical, and then for the lethal you can use whatever. I prefer the Molotov just so I can do the free jug. And then for my field upgrade, I always use Frenzy Guard. Especially when you're knifing, Frenzy Guard replenishes your shield, and whatever kills you get with Frenzy Guard active, you get your shield back. So when you're knifing, this is very, very helpful. I would also recommend going in with maybe a couple uncommon or rare upgrade ether tools. I would also recommend going into the game with another gun on you, so if you still have any of the like the blueprint contract ones that you kind of spawn in with in the game, any of those, just put them on as a secondary. That way if you need to do an ether nest or if you need to kill grunts easier, you have a gun to do that. There's a couple different ways you can go about this. If you have your large backpack filled up with perks, ether crystals, and the upgrades, you don't have to do any contracts. You can just go straight to an Outlast. But if you don't and you don't have any perks, I would recommend getting all the free perks. The ones that are going to be most important, especially for knifing, are going to be Quick Revive, Jug, Stamina Up, and Speed Cola. I have the Jug and Stamina Up blueprints unlocked, so I just make them before I even get into a game. Speed Cola is very, very helpful because you're going to be able to armor plate faster, and again, because we're knifing, we're going to be losing a lot of our armor. I will leave a link in the description on how to get all of the free perks, because in this gameplay, my free perks were not working at all. None of the bunnies spawned in, so I actually couldn't get any free perks for some reason. This has only happened to me once though. You guys should be completely fine doing it. But the contracts that I recommend doing and that are going to be the easiest for you are going to be the deliver cargo. Now, I recommend actually doing the tier 2 deliver cargo. But if you're not comfortable doing that, or if you're not set up to do that, go do the tier 1 cargo. Basically, we're hoping that we get good perks out of the rewards and that we'll have enough to pack a punch. You don't necessarily need the pack a punch, but I just prefer having a pack a punched weapon when I go into doing the Outlast trial. Mainly just due to the fact that if you're using an actual gun, you're going to need more ammo and you won't be reloading as much. With the knife, it doesn't really matter as much, but I still did prefer it. And this is why I said to throw on another gun as your secondary, because trying to get into these garages sometimes is a bit of a pain because the grunts are really annoying. But once you're done completing the cargo, hop out and grab the reward rift. I got really unlucky here and didn't get anything good, but then once you're done looting, hop back in that same exact cargo truck that you just drove over in, and you're gonna go to the nearest deliver cargo contract. Hopefully it's a tier 2 one, because you're gonna get 3,000 points for this instead of only 2,000, and you're also going to get better rewards. It's still very easy to do. Like, I didn't have anything and I was still able to do this pretty simply. This is why I also said you want decoys or a Casimir, because trying to get into these buildings sometimes is it's a pain. But go ahead and complete this contract. When you're prepared and set up, find an Outlast tier 1 contract on your minimap and then make your way over to it. Then head over to the actual PND location, activate the PND, and now listen up, alright? Shit's about to get serious. So basically, you can actually spend the first couple minutes before you activate the PND looting the area, because there is going to be loot around, which includes also some armor plates if you're low on those. But for this trial, you can let it hit 0 and it will not stop. Zombies will keep spawning. Sometimes the rates do get a little bit lower than what they should be, but the zombies will start spawning in. I would recommend going to about 50 to 70% and then leaving the area, because that way you're going to capitalize most on the zombie spawns. And what I mean by leaving the area is just leaving until you stop going up and it starts going down, like the progress bar. That's what I'm talking about. Man, recording this when I first wake up was not a good idea. But these zombies do hit like trucks, so that's why I said you should probably be prepared coming in here, even though it is a tier 1 zone. I was losing out on my armor pretty fast. So right here, I got it to about 70-ish%. I think actually this one I ended up just completing by mistake because I completely spaced out. And if this happens, just go find another Outlast trial. They're not that hard to find. There usually is 1 to 3 spawned in on the map at any given time in any given zone. And there is this weird thing with knifing. I don't know if this is a thing on PC as well as console, or maybe it's just a controller thing. But whenever I would knife, it would basically throw my aim to any given side. Like, I had no control over my aim when I would lunge into a zombie and knife. So I don't know if this is just a controller thing, but that is also another heads up. It can actually get you killed, so just pay attention to that. If you get the Outlast trial when you're in the mansion, this is actually really good because there is a ton of loot around. You can find a ton of loot, armor plates, literally whatever you need very easily if you get the mansion. So the main thing to also worry about in this good old trial is hellhounds. They are the biggest pain in the ass you're gonna have every time you go do one of these. Having to try and knife hellhounds is honestly very, very annoying. With the RPG and the, you know, the grenade launcher, doesn't really matter because it's, you know, gonna go boom. But having to like basically look down and knife these hellhounds that also explode and set you on fire is it's a little annoying. The hellhounds are gonna be mainly what's gonna drain your armor, especially when knifing. Like, maybe if you're using a normal gun, which I also recommend this strategy for, just, you know, normal weapons. But knifing, the hellhounds are going to be your worst enemy. And unfortunately, there is no way to get rid of them. God, I hate that they nerfed the exfil strategy because it would have been so much easier to get the knife done. There is no real easy way to deal with the hellhounds, except you can try knifing and then backing up instantly. However, there was usually 2 hellhounds on me at any given time, or they would basically do one and then one would follow very shortly after. So yeah, there's not really a good way to deal with the hellhounds when you're knifing. Alrighty, so the reason I brought in Frenzied Guard is for this reason. When you're very low on armor plates, or when you straight up just don't have any at all and your armor is completely depleted, activate your Frenzied Guard. It will refill all of your armor slots. It won't give you any extra armor in terms of plates, but it will refill whatever armor is currently missing from your health. Now, it is a very slow recharge for Frenzied Guard, unfortunately, so you do still have to be careful when you knife because, well, you can lose your armor pretty fast. And then, as you can see, I'm actually looting mid trial, and then after this kill right about coming up, and boom, Zirchon scale. And that was like maybe 10 minutes to get 300 kills, which obviously isn't as fast as exfil, but this is by far the fastest strategy currently. So that's how I got my Zirchon scale for my karambit and my combat knife. The war machine I actually did in the exfil, but the war machine is it's gonna be the easiest weapon you're gonna do. The thing is super powerful. It's ridiculous. It's like a Helion salvo essentially. And I'm sorry for the low energy recording. I'm super tired right now. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like, leave a sub, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Bonnie and Clyde down in California, fall in love on the run, trying to make it to Cabo. Romeo with a blunt, Juliet with a bottle, live like Jackie.